check what we have today. So for today, Wednesday, the only thing that will disturb us is the news at 8 p.m. We have FOMC news at 8 p.m. So that's for the USD. So FOMC is one of the high impact news. Okay. They see FOMC is one of the high impact news. We have other ones like we all know. So this one too drives the markets. It's brings in a lot of momentum at that point. So if you're not in a trade at that point, I advise you just wait it out before you take any more trades to avoid the craziness that comes at that time. Okay. So let's just see what we have today on some instruments. So yeah, we talked about gold. We talked about gold buying from this area, and you can see the reaction from gold at that point. Can you see? This was where we pointed out a while back that gold is going to come and buy. So this leg that happened here was liquidity. Okay. This leg was just like liquidity. And so price just wanted to come and clear this liquidity, tap into this place, and then start the buy. You can also see what it looked like on the daily chart. On the daily chart, what do you see? You see, when I say that when we have an area we want to buy from, like a buy point of interest, and then you now see your candle theory coming into play there. That is like double confirmation for direction. Okay. So you have something like this. And then when price comes back here, you now see your previous day's candle, right? Price is now sweeping your previous day's candle low. Is this not another confluence that we are going to buy? Can you see that? So this is like double confirmation. When you have a place you want to buy from, and then the candles now go and give you this, let me say you want to buy, and then you see the daily candle low sweep, like what you have here, is a good sign that we want to buy. Or let me say you are in a sell region, like let me draw something. Let's assume you want to sell from here. Okay. And then you now see what? You now see that there's a candle high sweep, like what happened here. So this is another confluence for sell. Okay, so this thing happens a lot. So when you see it around your POI and it's aligning with the direction that you wanted to trade to, that is a very good indication that you should trade along. Okay. So we had candle low sweep. Our theory gave us that the candle low has been swept. So what do we want to see? We want to see a 4 hours expansion, right? Now, what did we see on the 4 hours time frame? Two things. Number one is what? Number one is the fully bullish engulfing candle formation. Can you see that? So this is a sign that we want to buy. That's one. Two, we also had what? We also had an expansion. I remember talking about this guy yesterday. I said that when we get the fully bullish engulfing, that is not even going to be enough. But when we have this break of structure, let me clear this line. Sorry, it's getting a lot. Let me clear the lines. Okay. So now we have tapped into our POI. Okay. Then what did I say? I said that if we can get a break of structure here or an expansion, that is a good sign to buy. So gold has given us two reasons now to buy. Number one was the what? Was the fully bullish engulfing candle formation. And then the second one was what? The second one was the break of structure that happened here. Can you see? So we have officially broken this structure. Now, how can we play along? What I can also see here was there was another expansion here, just not this one, but this one that happened here. So let's see the H1 time frame. What do you see on the H1 time frame? H1 is showing us a very nice expansion that happened here. So gold can very well come into this area and then buy. Are we together? Why am I looking at this place? Now you can say, yes, so we had the expansion here. Why are we not trying to buy from, let me draw it. Why are we not trying to buy from this low? We have inducement, everything, fair value. That yes, this place is very, very valid. But what have we talked about on our live sessions? We like to look at the more recent expansion. Okay, just in case price doesn't come back to this guy. Okay, so what's the most recent expansion? Is it not this one that we have here? This is the most recent expansion, and also you can also trace this guy. So when price comes inside this area, this is a nice place that price can buy. Yes, maybe maybe today or even tomorrow, price can decide to, okay, I want to buy from here. It's very possible. But for now, because we have a new expansion like this is where we're going to be more focused on. Let it be that this place fails before we now, turn our focus to this guy that's down here. Okay. Now, so what do we see? Let me see the daily again. Okay, daily is giving us a good push. Let me see. Okay. So H4 gave the expansion. Now let's go to the H1. Now, how can we enter a trade on this H1 time frame? So I like this. I like what is happening here. You know why I like this place? I like this place because price was here, one, two, and then, price was playing around that place a couple of times before breaking it. So this is not a bad place that we can resume our buys from. Okay, sorry. That's not a bad, what's going on? This is not a bad place that we can resume our buy from. Now, this low is the more protected low. This low is the more protected low. So you can put your SL just where that low is, or if you want to put it under this low, that's also fine. But if you want to be safer, this guy is the more conservative place you can put your SL. Now, where is the TP? Of course, you can do 2R or you can do 3R depending on how long you can, stay on a trade. So this is what gold is looking like for us today. Okay, this is what gold is going to look like for us today. So let's see what this guy has for us. Okay, so you see we have two POIs, like I said, we have here and we also have here. So why are we focusing on here more? We're focusing on that place more because that is where the most recent expansion happened, okay? Or you can call it the most recent break of structure or the most recent, what do you call it, market structure shift, whatever you want to call it. This is where it happened. So knowing that this is our most recent expansion, it's not bad for us to look for a trade here. So let it be that this place doesn't do the job before we now turn our focus to this place. Is that okay? So we're going to be trading gold. This is how the entry for gold today is going to look like. All right. These are the entry for gold today is going to look like. So the entry is around okay, and that's it. And then the SL is all right. So that's the trade. So please, if you go onto your MT5 and then you see that the risk on the trade is too much for your accounts, okay? Because I don't think we fully grasp the concept of risk management. Now, before you take a trade, you must have already known, okay, on this trade, how much am I willing to risk? Let's say you wanted to risk $20 on the trade, okay? And then you go onto your chart and then you see that because the way MT5 has been optimized now, it's very good that you can even see the amount of money that you are risking on a trade before you even take the trade. Is that okay? So if you go and then you check the MT5 and then you see that the risk on that trade is too much for your account, what you just do is you sit out of the trade and then you wait for the next one. Is that okay? So when you see that the risk on your, because I know some of us we just want to trade everything and then we don't factor in how much we are putting on the line. Okay, so like I said, if you check the SL region for that trade, I see that it's too much with the dollar amount of that SL is too much, then you can stay away from that trade. Or like I said, like this gold now, if you put your SL somewhere here, it's still not bad, but the more protected low is this place. Okay, so if I check MT5 now, these are around 20 something dollars. I know that if I bring it here, it will be about 10 to 15 inside of here. So if your account cannot hold it, please, all right, or if you know you as a person, you cannot hold it, you just stay away from the trade, okay? So that's what gold is going to look like for us today. So let's see how it goes while I go on to another currency, okay? Let me see GBP card, okay? The GBP card has dropped into, we're coming from this, our demand zone here. I'm sure we remember this is our demand zone. This is our QMR demand zone. Where we had a sweep here. Then we had a break, all of this place or the break of structure. And then price gave what? Price gave some liquidity. So that when price comes to sweep the liquidity, it will buy up till this point. Okay, good. So we have talked about this zone over and over and over again. Now, coming into this demand zone, what the price do? We can now go to 4 hours time frame to look for confirmation. Now, what happened here on the 4 hours time frame? You can see that we had we had another something like this, okay, and then price swept this place and then it went up. And now what the price do again, if you're attentive, you see that price came to also sweep this liquidity again before kicking up. Now, what does this mean? It means that this place becomes the most recent expansion. Let me show you on the line chart. Look at the line chart. Can you see that this is now the most recent expansion that happened here? There was no other expansion here. This was the most recent one. You can argue that yes, here and here, but this is the one I liked best. Okay. Now, let's see what price did. I also like this guy because it was in a discounted area. Okay, this was a more cheaper price to buy GBP card compared to any other place up here. All right. So now what has price done today? Coming into price as yesterday rather, price dropped into this what's this guy called? Into this order block or expansion area. Now, what did he do? If you go to your H4, you can see that we have what we have an engulfing candle formation that's playing out there. Can you see? And we have an engulfing candle formation that is playing out there, a fully bullish engulfing candle formation. And that's also an expansion. Okay. So GBP card has every right to buy from here, okay, till wherever high you want to put it. Okay. There is every tendency for GBP card to buy from this place that it is because these 4 hours gave the expansion. These 4 hours gave the expansion, and it was also a fully bullish engulfing candle formation. So it can very well buy from there. Is that okay? So GBP card, if you're going to be trading this, it's going to be like a market execution. All right. This zone is looking very interesting. SL is going to be below here, and then you can target. You can start for every 2 hour. For every 2 hour, you can secure profits and book partials. Okay. For every 2 hour, you can secure your profit and book partials. Okay. So if you remember, I said that this first week took me out. So I think this is not a bad place that I can enter re-entry. Is that okay? So if you're going to be taking this, please, as usual, risk responsibly, and let's see how this one plays out today. Okay? So that's that for GBP card. This engulfing candle is giving us these 4 hours engulfing. You can see it's giving us the cue that we may be buying today. All right. So let's see how that one plays out for the rest of today. Okay. Let's go on to something else. Sorry, give me a second.
Excuse me, Mr. Azito.
Yes, I'm with you.
I'm sorry, please. I'm joining it. Hope you've not done good.
I have.
No, okay, you've not, right? You had.
I have. How much will you pay me to go back to gold?
I'll give you $100.
$100. Oh yeah, now I'll send my account details for you.
Thank
All
you, sir.
right.
Thank you too much, sir.
So this is what we're looking at for gold. Okay. So we're looking at for gold. So I said gold has two POIs, the one down here and the one up here. So this one is still very much valid. This is how the SL is actually. Okay. So we are looking at here and here. So this place is an interesting buy, and here also. So we're going to be taking here is going to be a buy limit at this price. Okay. And then if this guy fails, we'll now start looking for a buys from here. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
all right. Let's continue. I have some areas. Okay. If you remember, we said that we are still looking to sell on AUD CHF, and I marked out this place here and here. Right. So I'm expecting price to still trade into this guy. Okay. So this build up here can just be like some form of liquidity that is being built up just around the POI. Let me see the daily time frame. The daily did something that I like to see. The daily did a candle high sweep like this. Like I said, we are trying to sell. So we now come and see the previous day's candle being swept, the high of the previous day's candle being swept. That's an interesting area to sell, is it not? But because I'm still looking at this guy. I like when the price actually touches my lines, So this here, look at it here. You can see this was the place that we had the break of structure. So price can very easily come sweep this place, tap this guy, and then resume the sales. Okay, so that's why I am still waiting for this thing to happen. Now, even if you wanted to trade using the candle theory that happened here, can you see that there is no 4 hours expansion yet? Can you see? Yes, we swept the previous day's high at this point, okay? And then 4 hours should give us an expansion. Can you see that the 4 hours are still not giving us an expansion yet? It's just going down. It just did something like this, and it's just going down. Normally, something like this should happen. We have this, and then we now have an expansion like this. Can you see? But currently now, there is no expansion. So we are still waiting. So this is still like direction. We're still looking at, price giving us this last leg, and then we can now break structure. So when we get a break of structure, we can now position ourselves for sales. Okay, so that's that. So let's look at Euro USD. Oh, am I typing? All right. Let's see Euro USD. Oh wow, I already started. So for Euro USD, we said that this place, this from here to here, we said that from here to here is a swing. Why is here to here a swing? It's very simple. Sorry, excuse me. Why is this place a swing? It's very easy, because we had something like this. You see this low? This was a major low. Price did this and then broke here with a body. Can you see? So that means here to here, this high to this low becomes a swing. That means if price comes into the premium zones, we can expect a sell-off from there. Are we together? Okay. So when you have something like this, let me see if I can pinpoint something like that very quickly, so that where do I see? Okay. See something like this. You see here to here. This was a swing. You see the way price broke this place with the body. So that means when price trades back into a premium zone, we can sell off. Is it not? And exactly, it happened again here. Here to here. See the way price took here was. So this place now becomes a swing. Okay. So when price trades back into this place, it's going to drop. Are we together? So that's exactly what has happened here again. So here to here, you see the way price took here. So when price comes back into, wherever in the premium zone, you know that if we draw our, you know how we get our premium and discounted zone by drawing our Fibonacci, okay? So anything within the 50% to the 100 becomes our what? Our premium zone for sale. And then of course, anywhere below here is always the discounted price for buys. I don't know if you have heard anything they call PD arrays before. That is simply what they are saying. That at the premium zone, you look to sell, and then at the discounted zone, you look to what? You look to buy. Okay, let's continue. So price has traded into the premium zones, as you can see. That is where all of this sell-off started from. A lot of people were trying to buy EU from this guy. I saw some things on Twitter. People were trying to buy EU from here, because of the expansion. But you see, it's not good to just trade it blindly. Always ask yourself, where is price coming from before, you engage something. Okay. Now, what happened? Now, we also had a sweep here and a break and an inducement here. So you see that this was another reason why EU should sell. Yes, the way it sold off was not very strong, but it was still a very strong sell because of the way, price reacted to this place and where we are coming from. Are we together? All right. So upon mitigation of this area, of this, this QMR, we had series of 4 hours expansion to the downside. This was an expansion. This was an expansion. So many, and then this was the most recent expansion. Are we together? I talked about this on the gold, right? This was the most recent expansion. I'm going to talk about this guy today. Now, let me draw the line. See the way price has touched this expansion, it has dropped massively. Can you see that? Now, let's see the 1 hour. You see, oh my God, this thing has already happened. I was going to look at this place for us today. Oh, what's going on? Look at this place for us today. And now what's happened here? Now, even moving on from this guy, we also have a what? We also have a fully bearish engulfing candle formation at this point. So let me see how the trade would have happened. Let me go to the lower time frame. Let me see 30, 15. Okay, let me see, 5 minutes. Right, do I have a fair value gap there? Okay. It's not very clean. It's not very clean. Not very clean. The fair value gap did not really happen there. But you can see where this sell-off is happening from. Is that okay? We can see where this sell-off is occurring from this most recent expansion. That's where this sell is happening from. So I was just trying to see where, where would have been very nice. So the next thing that I'm seeing here that is nice is that we have this sweep of liquidity here and a break. So if EU is going to buy again, it will use this guy, sorry, sell rather. It will use this guy as liquidity. And then probably there can be a sell-off again from here. That's if it will do a retracement. It will probably sell off from here. Can you see? Sell off from there till, target the lows. Okay. So let's see how this one goes. Let's see how this one goes. This is still a very nice sell-off. Can you see? So that's how we build it. That's how we build it so that we don't get caught in the wrong side of the market. You see the way I went from daily time frame. So upon mitigation or when price came back to the premium zone, let me use that one. You see that we started selling off on the H4. So we are selling, selling, selling. See the way price reacted off this one. You see? Then we had another one here that price reacted of all this consolidation was price trying to sell off. And now this was now the most recent one. So price came back for that most recent expansion and it has done what? It gave what? It gave a fully bearish engulfing candle formation. And that is where this sell happened from. Okay. Unfortunately, we are a little bit late for the party. But if it will happen again, this is how it's going to trade. Okay. This is how the trade is going to happen. All right. So it's the same thing over and over again. We are just following. Following the new information so that we don't get caught up. Imagine still waiting for the sell, this guy here. Where's my demand? Imagine still waiting for this demand to you will be waiting now. Trade has happened here. There was a trade here. There's a trade here. Yeah, you are still waiting for this one. It seems you don't want to trade. So that is how you follow up. Okay. So let's see how this one goes. If it reaches, this low first, if it reaches this low, then we'll be very careful with how we continue. All right, because that's the draw on liquidity, and coinciding with that, that's also the previous day's low. So if price should get here first, then we can hold off. It's not a crime to miss some trades. Sometimes you miss, sometimes you catch it. Is that okay? All right. So let's see. Which other one do we have? USD CAD. Yes. I want to talk about USD CAD, how I was able to avoid a loss from this point. So we were looking at buying USD CAD. Please pay attention. Now, because you have a place you want to buy from, does not mean at every point in time that trade will be valid. Something happened on USD CAD that made me, I had a buy limit at this point. Let me show you. I had a buy limit at this point. I placed it. But something happened that made me cancel this buy limit. You're probably wondering what happened. It's very simple. The same thing that we have been talking about over and over again. See, price took the previous day's high. So I knew that the way price, now after price took the previous day high, I saw how H4 expanded very, very powerfully. Look at the sell-off. Upon sweeping the high, see the way price started selling off to the downside. So that means that the buy that was happening here was now in danger. Are we together? The buy that was happening here now was in jeopardy because of the way price came from the daily sweep. Are we together? So that was how my trade was invalidated. And thankfully, I was able to cancel this trade in time. Else, I would have had a loss. This was how the trade was supposed to be. I would have had a loss at this guy. And, I see the way price is acting up at that point. So that's how we are able to still, see, it's not about knowing the traits you can take. It's also knowing the traits you can avoid. Okay. So these are the things that we want to really package and, give to us in the program that is coming up. Is that okay? So we know how we know the other things that can cause invalidations. Okay. So we are going to know, those things that can cause invalidation and how you can prevent yourself from taking invalidated trades. Now, what's happening on USD CAD? We have now used this guy as liquidity. to tap into this fair value gap. Are we together? Can you see? We have now used this guy as liquidity to tap into this fair value gap. So now it's not out of place for price to start buying from here. And you can see the way it's reacting. Now let's see the H4. H4 should be giving us the confirmation before we trade. Now the H4 is trying to expand, and this is good. So we still have about an hour, 23 minutes before the expansion finishes. Okay. Now when that happens, let's see. Okay, we're having some fair value gap that is forming here. So USD CAD will be looking interesting for a buy. Is that okay? But wait for the expansion to finish up. I'm not going to call a trade. I'm not going to call a trade for USD CAD yet because anything can happen at that point. Okay. And we remember that I also looked at this place here for a possible buy from here. In fact, this is the more high probability zone for price to buy from. Okay, we have the fair value gap, we have this whole order block that is laying down here. So if we can even get another push inside this guy, then this would be like the most high probability area that USD CAD can buy from. Okay, so I don't want you to stop by and tell us that it's not all about seeing a place you can buy. You should also ask yourself, that place I want to buy from, is it still valid? Is that place still valid for a buy? Is that okay? And now that was how we are able to, I was able to avoid a loss. Now, USD CAD still has a lot of tendencies of trading up till this high. Okay. See where we swept this structure now. So we went up. So price is just trying to retrace to look for internal range liquidity before we can buy back till this draw on liquidity. Is that okay? So, but for now, don't do anything. Just wait for it to give you good information before you buy. In fact, even this one that is happening here is still not very strong enough for me. I'd actually like price to do something like this and then take it officially before I can join the buys. Okay, so please be patient. Don't rush to lose your money. Okay, all right. So let's see CAD CHF. Okay, this one is still looking good for a sell. I'm trying to sell that AUD CHF, so this one is not bad for a possible sell. Okay, something happened here. You remember we had this area here that price swept. Okay, this area that price swept, and then we're trying to sell all the way till okay, we're trying to sell all the way till this draw on liquidity. Okay, so now what price did yesterday, as I've not yet touched the draw on liquidity, price did a very deep pullback to this area. Now what am I seeing here? Why am I interested in this zone? Okay, I have this key level here. See, price was here, 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 and then it has done what? It finally broke that area. And now this guy is now serving as what? Is now serving as liquidity. Can you see that? So this line is our key level line. This line is our key level line. And then price is now printing what? Liquidity at this point. So what's my plan now? I just want price to do one last push into this guy and then give me an expansion. If I can get this expansion, I'm going to sell CAD CHF all the way till this low. Is that okay? Let me see the daily time frame. What the daily time frame is saying. Okay. Daily also has this. You can see the order block that is here alongside the fair value gap. So you see that we are doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Okay. So we swept here, and then we expanded. So normally we should trade all the way to this drawn liquidity. This drawn liquidity. Is that okay? But now price did not get there yet. So price, traded down, and then this is trying to retrace into somewhere so that it can pick some more sells, and then we can drop. But you not just take a trade from here. When price enters this place, when price enters this area, when price trades into this area, we are going to look for what? We're going to look for a market structure shift, or a change of character or an expansion, right? And then you can look for trade from here all the way to the downside. Can you see? So you see that our key level system always works, has proven itself over time to always work. And price is always drawn to these areas. It's very easy. When you have a resistance like this, that price was playing around a lot. When price finally breaks this resistance, it likes to come back to interact with that place before what? Before beginning the move. And we have seen this happen over and over again. Even our gold chart, even our gold, the gold that we are seeing there is the same thing that happened on gold. Okay, this was a key level. See, this was a resistance zone in the market. So price broke that zone, and then it just came back to that place, and then it's buying again. Can you see that? So that is why we really like to trade, key levels. Okay. So price has every tendency to retrace into the key level before selling. So what we're just going to do is we're going to be patient and wait for price to trade into that area, and then we are good. Okay. So I've done gold, I've done USD CAD, I've done GBP CAD. I've also looked at EU. So let me see. There's something for Euro CHF. These CHF pairs are looking very, very interesting. I don't know why. CHF pairs are looking very, very interesting. All right,
Sorry to
let's see something
interrupt
here.
you. Please, sorry, can you also add the US 30 to your list? Thank you.
Sorry?
US 30 to analysis, please.
I should add it to my
Can you add
analysis.
US
Why?
30 to your analysis? What?
I should look at it today.
Yeah.
All right, I'll look at
Maybe
it.
after you've done. Eh?
I'll look at it. I'll look at it.
Thank
What's
you.
going on here? I'll look at it. Okay. So for USD CAD, USD CHF rather, something is looking good here. We have this low on the daily time frame. I like the way price, took this place with a wick. Okay. So this is a sign that Euro CHF can trade all the way till this high. Okay. Now, upon taking this wick, can you see that yesterday fully engulfed the day before yesterday's candle? Can you see this? Can you see that there was a fully bullish engulfing candle formation there? All right. So Euro CHF can always trade back to this place before buying. But let's see the H4. What's happening on the H4? Okay. Okay. So the expansion that we're talking about happened here. All right. And then there was also another expansion. This place is still an expansion. Look at the line chart. Okay. This was supposed to be a sell. So price came and then it has taken it again. So we can still count it as an expansion. So what I'm expecting now, or what I'm looking at for Euro CHF, there's a lot of fair value gap that is laying down here and here. So there is every tendency for USD, sorry, what am I saying USD? For Euro CHF to do a deep, pullback to this point before buying. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Can hear you now.
Thank you. Okay, so I
Yes,
said
sir.
Euro CHF, you see the
I
way
can
we
hear
have
you.
finally broken this structure like this. So you can very well do a pullback into this area, and then you're going to look to buy from here or from this other one. Is that okay? So this is the way we just build our directions and then we wait. All the trades that we have taken here, it comes from us building the direction and waiting for price to get to those areas before we take our trades. All right. So just wait for it to do these things, and then we can very easily join the trades. All right. US 30. This will be the last one I'll do today. Let me see. Let me clear my charts. What am I looking at for US 30? I'll go from the weekly time frame because I've not analyzed it in a while. Okay. Okay, so we took the weekly high here, and then we finally came for the low, right? But before that, we have been very, very bullish. Okay, so let me see the daily time frame. All right. Okay. Okay, I like this. See something. So we had the daily did a sweep. This was supposed to be a, where's my pen? This was supposed to be a sell. This now becomes a swing. Let me draw that way. What's going on? This now becomes a swing, is it not? Right. So we're supposed to sell from anywhere in this range. But the fact that price, destroyed it and kept going up, this is a sign that we have resumed the bullish momentum on this pair, on this indices rather. So there are two places that are very interesting to me. Let me see the H4, how it looks like on the H4. At this point now, we have traded into the discounted price of US 30. Sorry, I'm calling it USD. So this is the most recent expansion. Can you see? I see the most recent expansion. So price can try to buy from here, from where it is now. All of this is looking like liquidity, or we can also call it trend line liquidity at this point. Is that okay? Now, at this point, let me see the 4 hours time frame. Okay. The 4 hours time frame has not yet started giving me an expansion. Okay. I think that's Mr. Samuel. Okay. So see, currently we are still dropping. We need it to change the movement, change the direction. The moment we get a change of direction, we can start to buy. Is that okay, sir? And then I'm looking at this. There's a very nice order block and fair value gap that is lying down here too. Can you see this? I think this was this was also a sweep. There's also a sweep of liquidity here. So this is nice. So if price can give us something like this, we can start to buy. But for now, it's still, you see the way it's still falling into, there is no indication yet, okay, for the buy momentum. So we're going to wait for that to occur. The moment we get a strong, impulsive move like this, then you know that we are ready to buy all the way till the high. USD US 30 is a very bullish instrument since its inception, that always been buying. Okay, so this is not a bad place for the trade to continue buying. All right, so that's that. Mr. Thank God is saying, please, why do you always use the daily and H4 time frames for analysis? Any advantage over? Okay, that's a very good question, but I would love somebody here to answer that question. Is anybody that can answer why I like to do from the daily to 4 hours and to H1? Anybody? Anybody knows why I like to trade like that, or I like to analyze like that?
It's because of the lower time frame are not as reliable because of the noise. The higher time frames are stronger in terms of less noise and clarity.
Thank you.
Price movement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is just the answer. The reason why we do higher time frame, I cannot come to a new, like I was asked to analyze this US 30, right? I did not plan, I did not analyze it before now or anything. It was never on my watch list. And then I am to analyze US 30. I cannot just go to the 15 minutes charts, and analyze it, because anything can happen. All right. I can see this on the 15 minutes charts now. I can see this and say, oh, okay, this is a demand zone. I want to buy from here. What do? I go and place my buy like this, and I'm very much interested in this buy. And then the funny thing is that the buy you actually start playing out so that you can even be more confident. The moment this happens, you say yes, and then what happens? The trade goes to fail, and then you wonder, why is it failing? But what you fail to see is that something happened on the higher time frame, right? On the higher time frame, from the daily, I think it was from the weekly that I spotted it. From the weekly chart this time around, you see that we swept the high of the weekly, that's the previous week's high. So there is every tendency that price will come for this place. Can you see that? So whatever buy I'm seeing within this place, the buy is just a trap. Are we together? Knowing that I'm going to come for this low, any buy that I'm seeing within this place, this buy is a trap. Can you see? Even on the H4, there was a very nice looking buy here. There was a very nice looking buy here. That was here, this guy. And you see, he started buying, but because of I'm coming from a higher time frame, so I know that this buy is just like a gimmick. At the end of the day, the buy is going to fail. So why do I use higher time frame? I use higher time frame because higher time frame will give me more clarity on direction. So you see that it is from the daily time frame that I know that price can probably buy from here. Is that okay? So now I have every license to go to the H4, go to the H1 even to look for buys. Now, if price on the H4 and H1 touches this place, and then I start seeing H1 like this, I'm free to buy from here. Now, let it be that I buy from here, and then it fails, than me not even having any information on the direction, and then I just get stopped out for no reason. Is that okay? So that's why we do analysis from the higher time frame, so that we are more clear on the direction. Okay, Mr. Femi is saying something very important on the chart. You can see. So we start by checking the weekly or the daily, exactly. And then when the H4 gives expansion, and then the H1, when the H4 expands, all right, by doing something like this, and then the H1 now gives us something like a sweep and break. This always a very, very strong, way to follow up in the market. Is that okay? So this is where we are now for US 30, and we are very much interested in buying from there. Okay, so that's that. I've spent a little bit, a lot of time. So I want to show you something. This is the reason why you should always learn to secure your trades. You see that FX20 that we're very confident in reaching our TP? You see this trade now. You see, when your trade has done this kind of moves, I feel like it's a crime to even lose this kind of trade. When your trade has done a very good move, this trade, I've called this trade for a very long time. But when your trade has done this kind of good move, it's a crime to lose money on this trade again. It's a crime. Instead, let the trade take you out on break even. That is why I always preach. If your trade does 2R, from 2R, you can start to secure profit. This, my initial entry did 2R, and then the re-entry did about, the re-entry that was here did about 2 points. Yeah, just about 2R also before. So as at this point, imagine you secure profit and then this trade comes back to break even. You are not even worried because you know that, the market is just doing its thing and you are protected yourself. That's why I say you can never go wrong taking profit. So every now and then, you can take some partials off the trade, allow the rest to run because anything can happen. Sometimes this thing will just run all the way to DOL. Is that okay? Sometimes it will play around like what happened here, give you deep pullbacks before going back. Okay? So that's why I always preach. When you see 2R start to, secure your trade, don't lose money on that trade again. So that's what happened here. And then the trade on 40 went to TP, had a very nice TP on this morning. Now, see, as it not yesterday, I think, evening. Now, see something. This was a re-entry here. The same way this one happened. The way your entry happens, when the re-entry wants to come, it always likes to follow that same pattern. There was a sweep here, and then a break, and then this was now our liquidity. See that price just came, tap liquidity and fell. Now let's see the re-entry. The same thing happened for the re-entry. There was a sweep here, there was a break at this point, and then there was some liquidity here. You see that price just came for that area and then fell. Now, if you are attentive, you'll see that same thing has happened again. All right. The same thing has happened again. Where's my pen? There's a sweep of this guy. There is a break here. So this guy is looking like where price will want to come and trade from before falling back down. Okay. So let's see the daily chart. Let me see the daily chart before I draw conclusions. Let me delete this. Sorry. Let me take a screenshot from my journal. Okay. All right. So where was I? I can delete this now. Okay. Now I finished drawing my bias on this guy. What's the last thing I want to check? Is the daily time frame aligning? And you can see that currently on the daily time frame, I am sweeping the previous day's low. So whatever is it not this is the high that may be taken now. So whatever sell I was trying to sell from here now is in danger. So that thing I just talked about, I'm not going to be taking it until I am sure that the daily time frame has given me the license to do that. So let's say today closes somewhere like this. I'll now use here as what? As liquidity for price to sweep and touch all this place before we continue the sales on FX Vol 40. Is that okay? So knowing the trades to take and the trades to not take is still part of trading. Trading is not that that the numbers must be running. You must have running trades. No, staying away from low trades from low chance trades is still a very good way to trade, because risk management covers three things. Number one, minimizing your loss, preserving your capital, and maximizing your profit. Is that okay? So minimizing your preserving your capital is still part of trading. That's still part of risk management. Is that okay? So that's that. So I thank you very much. I will stop here today, and then we will continue tomorrow. So let us see how the gold that we're looking at. Let's see how what those ones have for us today. Hopefully we can catch something today. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bridget. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. God bless you. All right. So I have to give way now. Have a lovely day. See you same time, same place tomorrow.